Hey everybody, Brad Greenfield back here again for some more Excel 2013 training, and what we're going to be working on in this video is freezing and unfreezing panes. We've all seen those worksheets where we want to keep this top bar, or maybe it's this first column, or maybe it's a combination of both, or top two bar or top two rows, whatever it may be. We want to keep those frozen so as we scroll through the page we can always have a reminder of what's going on with the headings. We're also going to work at splitting the screen so that we could see different views. And that could come in handy, when you're trying to find data that's lower down the sheet or across the sheet or whatever it may be. So some of this stuff I think you'll use often, some of it may not use too often, but we'll jump right into it. So the easiest way to go about freezing the pane, and I just have some more made up information here for us to work with. The easiest way to go about freezing this is if I go into the ribbon here at the top and I click on the view. Here in the middle, kind of in the middle, more to the left, is a window view. So a couple things that I can do. If I wanted to just freeze this top row, I could click on the drop down and say freeze top row. Now when I do that, I get a kind of a darker or a little bit darker gray bar that spans across that top row, and as I scroll down, that top row does not go anywhere. So I'm always seeing what my heading labels are. So if I want to unfreeze that, I'll click here and unfreeze. Now let's say I want to freeze. Let me zoom in here so we can kind of see here what happens. And of course this doesn't make much sense to zoom in, but just for the purpose of the video, if I click on the freeze panes and freeze first column, now my first column is frozen. So as I scroll over, that first column stays there. Okay, so let me zoom back out. Let me unfreeze this. So let's say that for whatever reason I wanted to freeze, and I'm actually going to zoom back in a little bit. Let's say that I wanted to freeze the top row and the left column here. If I put my active cell there in B2, it's going to freeze everything to the top and freeze everything to the left. And what I will select is go into the freeze panes and actually just click on freeze panes. So again, wherever my active cell is, it's going to freeze to the top of it and freeze to the left of it. So if I click that now my top row is frozen, but my first column is also frozen. So I will unfreeze that. So let's say I wanted to freeze the first 4 rows. So if I highlight just the row 5 and click on freeze panes, now all of a sudden my first 4 rows are frozen. And as you could probably guess, to freeze the first 3 columns, I'll click on column C and click on freeze panes. And now as I scroll over, the first 2. So again, anything to the left or anything above is going to get frozen. Let me unfreeze all that. So let's say that there's a situation where we want to maybe split this screen so that we can see some information below. Maybe we have this categorized and we want to see some information that's below without having to scroll too far and get kind of a split view. So what I'm going to do is just click here. I'll scroll down a little bit and click, I'll just do it up here. I'll click right here in cell A7 and I will click split. Now if you notice over here I have 2 scroll bars, so I'm able to scroll the entire data sheet here at the top, but I'm also able to scroll the same entire data sheet at the bottom. So I could look at some information here at the bottom and also look at the same spreadsheet here at the top. So I could get 2 views without having to scroll all the way down the page. And let me just click to unsplit that. So that doesn't make much sense now. Let's say that we wanted to do a sort. And we do, and what I'm doing is I'm going to sort by school name, and we are going to expand the selection so it takes everything with it. So I'm going to sort by school, and I'm going to do on values A to Z. Click OK. So now we have our school name. So let's say we wanted to compare some information from ABC school to this BNV school. So if I click right here and then click on, go back to my view, click on split. So now I have where I can view this ABC school and scroll through it while I'm looking at some information on the B and V or whatever it may be. So different situations there for you. Now let me undo that. Let's go back to the top. Now if I wanted to split, if I had the cell somewhere, let's just say I had the cell out here and I clicked on split. Now what I get is I get four independent views of the same data. So it's split top to bottom and it's also split left to right. Okay, so that's a way that you can go about splitting it top to bottom, left to right. You can drag these up and down if you wanted to and split it different areas. It's completely up to you. So just a couple different ways that you could see that. So that sums up our freezing and splitting the view. We'll have a couple more Excel 2013 trainings coming soon.